let's mess around with some typography. Let's go ahead and grab our type tool and let's do headlines. Let's get some filler text for now. And I think I have this on a Railway font, Railway Black, perfect. And so what I want to do is I love it when type interacts with the photo somehow. So it almost makes it look 3D. So you notice how it's in between layers. So right now it's you have this is interacting with this. It just looks really neat. So let's play around with something like that. Let's see what we can do. So let's first come up with our headline. Let me think of a headline and get our copy all loaded, and then we'll make it all come together. So I have some basics of my headline, a new level of clean. So let's balance this type out a little bit. So maybe this doesn't need to be black because maybe a level of clean, maybe clean is the word that needs to be highlighted, so that'll be bigger. So let's make a new much smaller. Let's try thin, a new level of, and this may not need to be big either. Now let's make that smaller. So we're just playing around with typography at this point. A new level of clean, and maybe this is really large, right? That's what we really want to focus on. Let's go to our paragraph options. Just going to recall my paragraph panel and character panel. I'm going to reduce the spacing between the characters a little bit. Maybe not that much, maybe -25. Make that tighter. And let's definitely have this going maybe right there. So then we'll need to adjust this. And let me make that a little thicker. And let's make the spacing on that thicker as well. So I think I have my character panel called up here. Let's have some dramatic spacing between the characters. Let's do 900, see what that looks like. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Okay, let's balance out anew. So a new level of clean. Not liking how that's looking, so let's make this a little thicker. Now, we might need to make this lowercase, so that might be what's bothering me. So let's go make this not all caps. Let's see if I have it set on. There we go. Let's remove all caps. And that kind of softens it a little bit. It's not yelling at you. And let's duplicate this layer so we don't have to do that again to the next layer. And let's just toggle that off because I might want to go back to that look a little later. Let's see if there's a way we could play with this type a little bit. Maybe this doesn't need to be as big. Let's have proper balance with our type. Let's keep that there for now. I almost wonder if this will be better italics and maybe even a different font. Just really nice to pair fonts. So this Anisha Free is actually a premium font I would need to purchase if I want to use it in the ad. But let's see what it looks like. You know, it's kind of a trendy font, but I think it's a little too hard to read, so let's go back. Looking for maybe an italic, maybe a serif font as opposed to a sans serif font. Dandelion, let's try that one. I think that's also a premium font. Kind of a similar modern look, but it's a little more readable. So I think that pairs nice. A nice script with a nice, bold, simple sans serif font. So that's nice font mixing. Let's make that even bigger. And let's move everything over just a little bit right here and make it a little bit smaller. We need more white space. I think that strawberries is making the whole ad a little cramped. So see, nice space. We still need to work in a logo. So let me actually bring everything up about here. And that'll give me more chances to put detailed stuff down here, a call to action. And I can even make this bigger. And I could shift this over and it doesn't have to interact with the strawberry. It could just kind of be nice and clean on its own. So I'm continuing to add copy, so I kind of made a little fake logo here. I'm going to balance everything out. I have kind of a sub headline here, fresh produce every day. And let's just continue to mess around with balancing and composition. So I'm going to select this little logo here that I made, and let's make it a little smaller. And sometimes white space is better than making the logo really, really big because it just looks nicer. And here's kind of a call to action. And I want this call to action to really pop out. So let's put a bar, a really colorful bar there. So let's just take the rectangle tool. Oops, make sure it's a rectangle tool. And let's go ahead and make that. Let's get the eyedropper tool and bring out some red. And go ahead and make it a red bar. That'll really pop out against all that gray-white color in the background. Let's bring that layer underneath, all the way down. This is when it's nice to have folders to organize all your layers if you have the time to organize it. Great. Let's make sure that's white, and actually even better, instead of making that white, let's sample this cream color. And let's highlight this $5 off, because that's more important than the rest of the copy. And I'm making it non-italic so it will stand out even more. So here's kind of the call to action. We could place it here, or I might even place it here to balance the red, because if you put red over here, that's too much red going on. But if you put it over here, you have red here, and it provides a little more widespread balance of the red. So let's also change this color, because this is not really a branded color. This is something I made up. So let's make it blue. Kind of our made up logo. It could be any color. You may have to work with that, whatever the client has in terms of their colors. You might be stuck working with that. So we have a couple of options here. We can mess with this clean type in a couple of ways. So if I'm happy, I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this layer. And I'm going to hide one of them so I can just keep the original for another time. And I'm going to right click and I'm going to go ahead and rasterize type. So I'm right clicking, rasterizing type, and that'll give me the ability to play around with it a little more. So let me see if I can apply a gradient to it, make it pop out a little more. So let's apply, that might be neat, and I can reverse it. Go back and edit this color, maybe take this red color, bring that over, and drop this one off and make this a little darker. There we go. Add a drop shadow to our type, make it blurry, reduce the opacity, make it really subtle. That could be too much red going on in the design. We could bring out green colors here. So we can go in and bring out this green of the leaf, because you associate green with clean, right? So that's an option. We'll keep that one on the table. Maybe bring my C a little bit over here. Bring this type over here, a new level of clean. And we can make this a little bit of a darker red. I think that's almost too bright. Ooh, that blue looks nice with the logo. That could be something we keep. But you got to keep with that red because that's kind of the theme. But I'm a little scared of being too Christmassy with green and red put together. So let's rethink this a little bit.